All right, welcome to this video. My name is Taylor Benchard, and it's going to be a different video. You can see we're actually in the screen, and I'm going to talk to you about my human dashboard. And this is basically how I track myself, just a small piece of it. And it's extremely helpful for understanding why I may be feeling low energy. It's great for understanding why I may not be getting the best results in my business. It's great for understanding why my relationship may be having problems. It's great for understanding a lot of things. So I take this dashboard pretty seriously, and the data on it is fairly accurate. So I'm going to walk you through how you could kind of set this up for yourself and why you should set it up for yourself, because it'll help you in business, in relationships, in energy, like in every different facet possible in life. So let's get started. I mean, the first thing is pretty simple. You can change the dates to be any specific time frame that you want. Now, I've been tracking my time for a long time, almost years, but you can, for the purpose of this video, let's just look at the month of March to see how my overall, life was in the month of March. All right. So the first thing we see is that my sleep quality on average is 82.1. Now I use an Aura ring and I have a headband called Dream. Really good. These two things I could do a whole video on. The Aura ring tracks your sleep. The headband Dream also tracks your sleep. But the difference is the Dream band it measures the brain waves of your brain while you're sleeping, and it shoots pink noise into the back of your head, which basically holds you in REM sleep or deep sleep longer. I think it's actually deep sleep. It holds you in deep sleep longer. So when you're in deep sleep, it knows that you're in deep sleep because it measures your brain waves, and then it shoots this pink noise in the back of your head, and it holds you in there longer. So you wake up feeling, better because you got more deep sleep, more REM sleep, etc. And so sleep quality is obviously very important. I use a couple different tools to measure sleep quality. And if you're wondering where all this data is coming from, it's coming from a simple Google Sheet. So this is the Google Sheet where I do daily tracking, and all of this data gets fed into the dashboard. Okay. Now there's nothing wrong with just using a Google Sheet, but could you imagine looking at all these numbers? You can't see any trends. When you're just looking at numbers, it's just numbers and you can't see any trends. So it's great to put it into this dashboard so that you can basically see a trend line for each of the different metrics that you're measuring. And then the hours Mave is when I wake up, I do meditation, and then I read this thing called ACIM, and then I do my vision, and then I eat. So first thing I do, I wake up, brush my teeth, and then I meditate. That takes about 25 minutes because I meditate for about 20 minutes. And then I do this thing called ACM that takes about 5-10 minutes. It's a great book. It's called A Course in Miracles. And then I read my vision, and then I eat. And that takes about 1.5 hours every morning. It shouldn't take more than an hour and a half. So the fact that this is 1.6 is a little bit off. Let's see what it was in actually like the last 7 days. In the last 7 days, it looks like it was 1.4, which is better. It should be less than 1.5. And so then we have the hours worked. Now, I work from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and so I should have 12 hours in this thing right here. So this says 11.7. What this is this is the daily hours that I'm working throughout, but based on this time frame. So you can see this is the chart showing me the hours that I've worked day by day. So on like March 25th, I worked 13.25 hours, 26th, 12 hours, 27th, 12.08, etc. And you can see it's actually starting to go down. Recently I got pretty sick and I slowed down a little bit, but this should average out to be 12 hours because this is the average of the time frame that I'm looking at. So from the 24th to the 31st, on average, I worked 11.7 hours per day. And then the productivity, let's actually just zoom this out to be like at least 2 weeks. The productivity is a simple measurement of how on course was I? When I plan my day the day before, so I have this little notebook and I basically write out everything that I'm going to do. And if I get everything done, it's pretty much 100% productivity day. No, sorry. If I get more than what everything was written on that notebook, it'll be 100% productivity. But honestly, I pretty much never put 100%. It's usually 90%. There's rarely any days where I feel like I actually got 100%. And then from there, there's hours chilled. So this is the time that I spend not working per day. On average, I will not work for about 3 hours per day. And I usually spend that time with my girlfriend, Nicole. And it's actually usually about 2 hours. It should be about 2 hours, but it's ended up being about 3 hours lately. And then hours slept, average hours slept, and that's pretty much it. The most important thing about this dashboard is the trend lines and basically just the big dips and the big the spikes and dips. So in general, I mean, you want to be consistent. And if you look at the last 30 days for me, it's kind of all over the place. It looks like there's this one day here where I only worked about 4 hours. I mean, I don't even remember that. So what I would have to do is I'd have to come into this sheet, go to March 4th, and I leave little notes. So there's a note here that says, great day, I just woke up super late. So on, March 4th, which is this huge dip, or no, I guess it's March 8th. Let's see, March 8th. The day was fucked due to 5 hours getting licensed. Yeah, so on March 8th, this huge dip is because I went to the registry to get my Panamanian license, and that took like 6 hours. So just totally messed up my day. So it's also important to track notes on the day so that you know kind of what happened, so that if there is a huge dip, you're not just left wondering where did that dip come from. Okay, so it's not just data, you're also putting in notes. And the other thing is the productivity trend line. Generally, you want to see this above 80% all the time. For the month of March, it was 84.6%, which is pretty good. The one thing that's not that great is 10.7 hours per day. I mean, ideally, I would shoot for at least like 11.5, because you got to leave some margin of error. If I want to work 12 hours per day, I mean, I got to leave a little bit of margin of error for other things that might happen, like getting my license or car breaks down or something like that. And then sleep quality. Like, this is not a good thing. This thing has been trending down, and I actually got sick on March 28th-ish, March 27th. And then when I got sick, I couldn't sleep at all. So then I had 2 terrible sleep quality days. And then I've started to come back. First time I actually got sick in about a year. Pretty funny. And then that's pretty much it. The second thing is that you can basically filter out Sundays, because I don't work on Sundays. So it's more accurate if I'm looking at hours worked and everything on, without the Sunday, because basically I don't work on Sundays. So it's more accurate if I look at just Monday through Saturday, if I'm trying to look at the specific days that I'm working. There's a second page to this sheet which goes over hours chilled on a daily basis with pretty much just my girlfriend, because I don't really spend much time doing anything else. So when I'm just not working, this is time that I spend with her. And then hours slept on a daily basis as well. And you can see the trend line there. Hours slept and hours chilled is on the second page because it's less important. I mean, the most important thing is sleep quality is very important. Because you could have like a 7-hour sleep, but if your sleep quality was really, really good, based on the measurement tools that you're using, the instruments that you're using to measure these things, then it's okay. But if you could sleep 9 hours and have a terrible sleep, and then if you just look at the hours slept, it's not a good metric to judge by. So you need both qualitative data and quantitative data, but in the context of sleep, I would say that qualitative is more important than quantitative. So that's just my opinion on sleep. And then that's pretty much it. So if you want to be able to make this for yourself, it's pretty simple. I mean, Google Studios is pretty cool. It's an awesome tool. It's simple to use. And you just need to use this sheet here. So, I'm going to show it to you. You can pause the video and copy it if you want to copy it. But there is some formulas in here. But overall it's pretty simple, and if you decide to actually build it, yes, it'll take a few hours to build, but it's so worth it, because when you're feeling down energy wise, this is your like troubleshooting FAQ section where you can come to basically figure out if it's really something to do with your sleep quality, your hours worked, productivity. You know, you can kind of look into these things and think, okay, this is probably why my energy's down, because my sleep quality has been, you know, below 75% for the last 3 days straight. Or I'm not, you know, I'm having issues in my relationship because I'm actually only spending like an hour and a half a day with my girlfriend for 3 days straight, so she's probably pissed. And these are real things that have happened, and this sheet really is amazing. It makes, you know, everything objective. So if my girlfriend's telling me, hey, you're not spending a lot of time with me, and I'm like, well, yeah, I am, and nobody really fucking knows, because, you know, there's no tracking. Well, now you know, because you're actually tracking it, right? So if she says you don't spend time with me, I'll just pull up my sheet and be like, no, I am. Look at this. And it's just real data that can show that. Then again, it's only quantitative, it's not qualitative. So she might say like, yeah, but it's not quality time. So that's a whole other world. But so this is, I hope, was pretty helpful, a good insight for you to check it out and see your trend line on different things in your work, in your life. It's been revolutionary for me. So I'm going to get back to the hustle. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, I'm also going to post on my YouTube channel, but if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, feel free to subscribe. If you're watching on Facebook, feel free to comment, let me know your thoughts, and I hope you found some value in it. Ciao.